Testing 1 2 3.
It's delayed a minute.
Yeah,
But
more in a minute, I think.
it's delayed.
Testing 1 2 3. Hi, Dennis. You can hear me now. Everybody should be able to hear me. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to set the system up the way we had it, and I forgot that when I put it on the about to start mode, I had no sound, and I had muted it, thinking that we had to do it that way, and forgot that Jonathan had it set up that when we're in that mode, that the microphone doesn't work at all. So anyway, it took me a few minutes to get going. Sorry about that. I'm alone tonight. Jonathan had some things that he had to take care of. Actually, he's just taking care of his kids. His wife is out of town, and he had to get them to some functions, so they always come first. Dennis is saying he can't hear me now. Can you hear now, Dennis? At first he said I can't hear anything, then he said there, then he said I can't hear you. Yeah, the sound's working. Let me get a response from Dennis. And I'm sure there's a way to turn things up over here, but I don't know how to do that. That's Jonathan's baby. Okay, Nicole can hear me. Dennis says he can't hear me. Jay says he can't hear me. So, Dennis, whatever's in your ears, get it out. Well, it'd be nice if it seems like you and Jonathan are playing musical chairs. So I had you there, and then Jonathan got tied up at Worlds, and he wasn't there. So anyway, it's all good. We are live. I do have things I want to talk to about it tonight. First of all, do a little bit of a Worlds recap. Not going to spend a lot of time there because Dennis and I talked about it profusely on that Saturday night, which is at the tail end of it. We only had Sunday to go. I had a great time. I don't know that I can't have a great time there. Even if I get irritated at gaming, even if I'm having the worst, most miserable time and I roll 22 straight deuces, I don't know that I can't have a good time there because my friends are there. And if you guys don't know what makes the HeroClix community work, if you start going to events, you'll start realizing it's kind of like a family reunion. And so when we get together, we all are happy to see each other. We like to spend time with each other. We have a lot of commonality with the game itself, but we develop relationships over time, and we know each other's business sometimes, and our family lives all intercede a little bit, and we have a lot of fun when we're together, and it's our way to escape from the world, I guess. And escape from the world isn't always the game. It's the people that you're around. So I had my best friend and a lot of other friends that I spent 4 or 5 days with, and it was kind of like a little mini vacation. But the word that I will use most if you begin playing Clix is it feels like a reunion. And so we do that a few times a year. Worlds, the Rock Cup. I haven't been to the event in Florida, but I think it's getting the feel of that also. I think a lot of the same people that I see at these other events are there. It's on a smaller level when we run states and some other stuff, but it's a reunion. So I don't think that I can have a bad time at these events because I enjoy being around the people, and it's a lot of catch-up time, and we go to eat together, we practice together, we go to the bar together while we're there, and we just hang out, and it's a lot of fun. And that's what got me, the first biggest thing, and I've said this and you guys have heard it before, the first big thing that I ever went to was in Georgia, and it was a pre-release. Now I got Nate here. Nate plays, he's sitting here. He came by to pick up some stuff and hang out at the show, and I may end up putting him on camera, though he doesn't know that yet. But he his brother went with me to this event. It was in Georgia, and it was a pre-release, and it was over 100 people. And I think that what that did for me, I'd only played locally. I had not played. I don't even know if I played outside the venue, or if I did, it was very, very little. But having over 100 people there, and they all playing HeroClix, made an impact on me, because it made me realize that this game that I played was bigger than I thought, and that there was a bigger community out there, and it made me want to play more, and it made me want to travel. And some of those people, even today, I know pretty well. I saw some of them over the weekend, and some of the people that played back then have come and gone, but a lot of them have stayed. And that's really where I started. I started going to conventions. I started going to the World Championship. I started doing more things. And it was that sense of community, not just locally, but worldwide, nationally, and then worldwide, that has kept me in the game, that I really enjoy, and why I like going to these big events. And I've made friends all over the world from this one game, and I think that that's pretty cool. There's some of the people I've met in person, some of them I know. There are people that play this game that I talk to. I'll give you an example, although I have met him. George flew in from the Philippines and roomed with me. I had never met George in person until this weekend, or this past weekend. And I think George is a great guy. I think he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And we've developed a friendship, at least I think we have. On my part, we have. George may hate me, I don't know. But in either case, I had a friendship from afar to somebody until this weekend I never met. So it was kind of cool meeting him for the first time in person. But, I think that if I never would have met George in person, I still would have felt the same way about him. And I had a friend across the world. I've got friends in the UK. I've got friends in Australia. I've got friends in Taiwan. I've got friends in Thailand. A lot of who I've never met, but we've spent some time talking HeroClix and stuff online, and it's kind of cool to have that. Point is HeroClix is pretty big, guys. It's all over the world. There's a lot of people that play it. Some of them don't play competitively like some of us do. Some of them just like to play casually, but they like to interact with the community still. And they like to follow it, but they may never go to a real competitive game, but they love the game, and I think that's what's neat about it. So World's experience was great. I had Dennis and Raul with me for a couple more days after that. When we got back, we drove back. I took him to the Jack Daniel's distillery not far from us. We had a great time there. Took Dennis and Raul to a Cracker Barrel. They'd never been to a Cracker Barrel, and it was very fun watching them at a Cracker Barrel. And I think when I was a kid, I never could get my dad to stop at a Cracker Barrel, and later on in life, it was kind of a special. The only time you could go to a Cracker Barrel was it was on the side of the interstate. Now they're a little bit more everywhere, and doesn't have the same attraction that it did when I was younger. But it's still pretty cool. But to Dennis and Raul, who had never seen one, walking into that store and seeing all the stuff, it was like pretty awesome to them. So that was fun, and we played some games and yada yada, and we had a good time. And now I'm just a little over 2 weeks. I'll be taking a cruise, and then from that point I'm about a month away to going to Mexico City to stay with Dennis for a week. So. Lots been going on with me, and will continue to go on with me. I'm going to lead into that with this, is that when I go down to Mexico, I'm planning on playing in their state tournament. So that would be a first for me, and if I would be pretty excited, to be honest with you, if I could win a Mexico state championship. And I'm sure those guys aren't going to try to let me do it, but I think it would be pretty cool to come back as a Mexican champion. So anyway, that's on the agenda. And speaking of, and like I said, that we'll lead that go into states. So I've been working. I started working on it before I went to Worlds. I sent out, and as soon as I got back, I started going through my emails. If anybody is watching and they have a venue that wants to be in states and province, I strongly advise that you contact me very soon. If it's filling, I've only got 51 slots. I may can get some more, I may not. What I do know is I got 51 slots, and they're filling fast. In fact, I haven't even pursued anybody, meaning that usually during states and provinces, I'm finding some states, there's states and there's provinces or whatever that I'm wanting somebody to host, and I'm trying to pursue to get that. But because I'm limited this year, I'm not having to work nearly as hard, and I think maybe by the weekend I might be full, or I might be very close to be full. So if you're wanting to host a states or provinces, you need to contact me. Right now we are signed up in Mexico, Canada, United States. I'm waiting to hear back from Australia. I'm waiting to hear back from Taiwan. We still have quite a bit of the United States that's opened up. Trying to think of any big locations that I've got a few places that I haven't put on the board yet because I've got to choose between venues. I've got a few places that I'm waiting to hear from, but we're gonna definitely hit 51. Now, 4 states, and you're hearing some things here first. The state map has been approved by WizKids. It will be WizKids legal. This year, I'm making it a little bit more for states, giving them more opportunities to buy more. We do this every year. Always they've been able to buy extra maps. They've always been able to buy other maps, and they have also been able to buy product. So this year, you're going to be able to, venues will be able to buy at a reduced rate, and the state maps, reduced rate for the Brock's bunker map, where everybody wants. That has now that Worlds is over, and I pretty much believe it's going to be legal in WizKids tournaments. They also are going to be able to buy a Battle Royal map, and I still have lots of John Cena's, so that's going to be something. Jay, I have not announced anything yet. I have all the places lined up. I don't really want to announce locations yet. The next thing that I'll do, nobody technically is concrete until they pay me. Right now, nobody can pay me because I haven't set the website up yet, and I'm also flipping over from PayPal to Square on the website, and I'm having a admin that handles the website is installing all of that. I'm really very discouraged with PayPal. PayPal has changed a lot in the last year. Our business PayPal was actually shut down. I've had troubles with them over the whole year, and the problem is that, well, this is the third time. The third time, I guess, is the charm, but the anti-charm. PayPal questioned us on whether they questioned transactions and what we were doing. So each time I responded to them, I took each transaction. I gave them tracking numbers where it was applicable. I also gave them. I showed them the product. I sent links. They don't understand that, the Rock site, we do online gaming, so there's nothing mailed. So they couldn't comprehend that hey, somebody bought something and there's no tracking on it. Well, how can that be? They also couldn't comprehend that somebody buys a kit and it doesn't ship immediately, because we don't ship until about 2 weeks before the event to assure that the venues get the latest and greatest product, most of the time that being maps. Hey George, I was just talking about you. So that they couldn't comprehend that, and then occasionally we don't use PayPal in the store. I would have somebody make a payment because they wanted to use PayPal, and they couldn't comprehend that either. So anyways, I had to explain every transaction, had to send them a link to the website, had to show them a product description of what people bought, and the first 2 times that this occurred, they put our PayPal on pause and said, hey, you can't do anything, but you need to get us this stuff. And as soon as I provided the stuff to them, everything was fine. Third time, same deal, same type transactions, nothing different. I was on the way out to Worlds, so I had my daughter answer all the things, and I went over everything with her, and so she answered and sent it in. We thought everything would just be turned back on just like it was before. Instead, while I was at Worlds, I got a thing from PayPal saying that we had been shut down, that they felt like our PayPal put their members at risk, and therefore they were not. So we called PayPal and like, what the heck, man? Why are you shutting us down? The guy tells me that he really doesn't have any information, and that I can't talk to the people that shut us down, and that there was no appeal process, and that once it was done, and there was no way to save our PayPal. And so basically we got shut down with no information of exactly what they considered risky, and no one to talk to about the problem to see, and no appeal process to try to make them understand. They froze what money we had in the account for 120 days. And so I'm done with PayPal. I have a personal PayPal that I'm using right now that I think is a little necessary, but I'm not planning on keeping any money in it. And we already had a Square account that was set up here at the store. So what I'm doing is I'm attaching that Square account to the Rock site, but it was a little harder than what you could imagine. I had to get the guy that runs the site involved to create a link to Square. I had to give him my Square access. Anyway, then he's been doing a ton of updates, and I'm hoping that he's done. He understands the importance of it. I'm hoping he's done really soon, and when that occurs, then we'll be able to take payments again. In the meantime, I've got to upload everything. I've got to set everything up. I've got to figure weights out. I've got to do everything for people to be able to buy the steak kits and buy product on the site. That doesn't take me that long, probably a couple hours of dedication to get that done, which I'm going to try to do this weekend. And then people can buy the kits, and then I need people to buy the kits as quickly as possible so we can get my orders in, because the next thing I got to do is I got to place an order with WizKids. I got to place an order on maps. My map guy is sitting there. I've actually got a spreadsheet and a state's pay. He sees it confirmed, and he prints the maps right away because he doesn't want to wait to the end and try to print everybody's maps. So he does them as they go along. So it's a little bit of a complicated process. So when I'm talking to everybody when I'm talking to venues and I'm like encouraging them to make payment, there's a reason why. It's not that I need money right now per se, or we're all going to fold. It's because I have to place orders. I need to know what you have that you're buying, and sometimes the venues they stretch that out a little bit further than what I want to talk to. So anyway, that's my rant on PayPal. And you now have a little bit more information on states. I plan on next week replying to everybody that I've already approved, that they don't know that they're approved on states, and give them information. The other thing that I want to tell you is that I will be having an announcement that will come out Monday, and you guys heard it here first. The Rock is shifting away from the Win. WizKids already knows this, and we are adopting HC units as our place to run tournaments, and you will be required to, as a venue, to use HC units to run your events on, opposed to Win. It's much cleaner, much better. Players can go on there and create an account. They can create their team. The HC unit, what's really cool about it, if you pick the format and everything that you want to play, it actually will not let you build a illegal team. So it also tell you that stuff that you can add on and give you suggestions that will work with your team. It will print a build sheet. It also allows you to download your team into the tournament that you're going to. The judges, the staff, the TO can look at your team to make sure to see what you got. He can check you in when you show up. Then and the team's there to view by everybody. From there we can get data and see what figures are being run and yada yada. Also gives you the ability at the tournament to report your own scores and to receive seating for who you're playing as the rounds go along. It's and it works. It's not like what we just faced at Worlds that was not so fun. So we will. That's coming, and then part of the information I'll be sending to states is that telling them. Usually, if you buy a kit on the Rock site, one of the lines that you have to fill out is a win link. You create your event, you choose your date, and you put a link into your event where I can see it, and people can and I can follow up and follow that link and look to make sure that and see what numbers you had and make sure that you're running a real event, so to speak. Sometimes people have to change things, but I'm usually able to figure it all out. Well, HC Units will be replacing that win link, and I will be able to access stuff actually much better on HC Units versus WizKids. I also think that we tend to lead sometimes. Not that saying that we are the creator of the games or anything like that, but there's a lot of things that exist now that you guys maybe don't even know about. It's because we created it. Neoprene maps, that was something that we created, and then WizKids created some of their own. The reason that you have 3 maps on your build sheets is that something that Rock initiated years ago, and we wanted to make maps be part of a team. We think that that's important. We also had the experience of years ago when you were playing and people when map roll for a dice. I clearly remember people standing up, hollering across the room, saying, "Hey man, do you have that bunker map? Is that you got that in your bag? Can I borrow that, George?" And running across the room and then opening the map up to look at it. Or a guy having a bag full of maps and pulling them all out and looking at all of them at one. And it was so we streamlined that, and we made it to where you had 3 map choices, and really made it a little bit more part of strategy. And that's why that's there now. The reason that you get points for a buy, that's something that Rock did. We took the lead on that. When when Rock was created, if you played in a tournament and you got a buy, you got 0 points. You got a win with 0 points. And we thought that was unfair. And so when we created our Rock rules, we changed that. So we were over here in left field, and WizKids was over here in right field. And what happened is when we came back together, I worked with Kenny Pena, and Kenny Pena and I went over all the rules, and we merged everything together. And we did get rid of some of our old rules, and we adopted some of WizKids rules, but they also took a lot of ours, and a lot of the tournament structure and a lot of the rules that are in play now is because of the emergence of the 2 organizations. And that's the point that I want to make, is there's a lot of things that have happened that most people aren't even aware of. It's things that we created. So I noticed very clearly that WizKids logos were black and gold. Who has a black and gold logo that you guys know? Maybe with a bird flying in it. So now they got my colors too. They took my colors. But that doesn't bother me. But anyway, there's a lot of things that have happened even you could even say Worlds was kind of something that they copied from us. Back before we were doing it at the cafe, we ran the Rock Cup, the first people to ever do it, at a hotel with playing there with rooms. And lo and behold, years later, WizKids does the same thing. So it's kind of funny. I don't mind. I think that if we do something and WizKids likes it and they want to do it, I think that's great. And we do talk to WizKids. We do love them. We do talk to them. I do talk to them pretty much on a weekly basis. All right, so that covers all of that. I also want to talk about, I have a big event coming up, if anybody's listening. It's going to be, I don't remember the exact date. I can look. It's October. It's the last weekend in October, which is going to be a Saturday. It looks like it's the 26th. So the 26th of October, I will be running here a Super Seal. It will be Masters of Time and Notorious. It will be with newer. If you played in the one that was in Birmingham, which was a really good tournament, if you played in that, we will not be getting the same con exclusives. We're going to be getting some newer con exclusives. Let me catch up here and. Looks like everybody's talking to everybody else rather than me, which is okay. So I don't have any questions on there. I just wanted to check it real quick. That's pretty much it. Now, also, I will tell you that I don't know if I mentioned or not, but we do have Nicole. Actually, we can tell you about this because her boyfriend. I don't know. Is he your fiance, Nicole, or just your boyfriend? I don't know. Your roommate. I don't even know if y'all live together for sure. I think that you do. But anyway, Nicole came to the Rock Cup, and he is designing the map. This is the first time ever that we've let somebody design a map that they won from for auction. So he's getting to design the map, and this will be the state's map is something we've already got it approved by WizKids, and the initial design. They've approved it, and so the next, just boyfriend, Nicole says. Guys, there's still hope for the rest of it. She's not married yet, so if we can get rid of the boyfriend, we still got hope for Nicole. No, I think they're both happy. I wouldn't do that to them, but anyway, Nicole's sweet as can be, and they're both excited about the map that he's made. And that we'll be previewing that as soon. Right now, our map maker has it. As soon as he finishes it, we will preview it, and it will be something. We live separately, and she's seen the map. Yeah, so it's submitted. Like Aaron just said, it's submitted to have the artwork done and the final pieces, and hopefully we'll be able to preview that pretty soon. I think, Aaron, you can maybe give a little bit of teaser here. If I remember right, if it's the one that I think to design, it's an indoor map, and it's got a lot of levels. Is that correct? Or some levels? Give everybody a little bit of a tease here, without saying too much. There's a delay, so we have to wait for Aaron to get that. But anyway, he'll answer that in just a second. So anyway, indoor outdoor. So it's an indoor outdoor map. And how many are there? Lots of levels, or is it just one level? I can't. When I was talking to him, he had two ideas, and I don't even know what you guys finally settled on. Yeah, but some walls. Okay. So it should be a pretty good map. I kind of know the theme that he came up with, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it would be kind of fun to post the map and see if anybody can guess where he got his ideas and where the theme came from. All right. I think I've covered about everything that I wanted to talk to you about. We still got some time left. We got 17 minutes of time. So let's talk about. I think the other thing I want to talk about tonight was the meta change. Nicole says it actually inspired her to make her own custom, which is going to get printed for me so we can play on our own. That's cool. You can actually do that. George, that we don't have an elevator to the Philippines. You have to go through LA every time. No elevator. George had a hell of a trip. He was he flew from the Philippines, stayed with his family, and he was stuck in Los Angeles airport, I think, for 14 hours waiting. And so he came waltzing into the bedroom, or to our hotel room rather, at 2:30 in the morning on Thursday night. He was supposed to be there earlier that day, so he had a lot of fun. Anyway, what I was about to say is gamer mats. If you send that to them, you can pay to have them make a neoprene. They will do a custom mat for you. If you send the artwork to Gamer Mats, they will make you a neoprene mat. Just in case you didn't know that. 55, yeah. Ronnie, I always want to say Ronnie. Nate is saying it costs $55. Just so you know. Part of the journey, George. I don't know if I like that part of the journey. I don't know if I want to spend 14 hours in the airport. You spent more time in the airport than you did flying. Cool, Jay. I'll ask Aaron about that. So now, let's talk about the meta. I think that this particular change, so everything rotated. Aaron, by the way, should be coming out with something very soon with an update for Silver Age on legal and non-legal figures. We got to get that out because we do have the states and province championships coming up. So that should be coming maybe as early as next week. I'll let Aaron give us an update on that. I'm hoping that we get it really soon because everybody's wanting to start making teams. All right, there you go. Aaron just said he submitted the final list today. So that's another part where we work with WizKids. Silver Age was kind of handed off to us, but it's actually an official WizKids format, and they have the final say in anything we suggest. And I would also say that Silver, it's not just by us. We just have a strong influence in Silver, and so we should have that pretty soon. In fact, I might can rush it along because we do need it. Anyway, I'm very anxious to see that myself. I don't even know what it is. Aaron and I are running hither and thither, and we talk pretty regular, but we don't talk about everything. So I might even give him a call myself to find out what changes that he did, because I'm very curious, because there's a lot of what happens on Silver is we'll ban out whatever you want to call it. There'll be figures that you can't use, and we had figures that you couldn't use for last year, like the Witch and like Sakarian Iron Man and yada yada yada. And some of those figures, I imagine, are going to be able to be played now. And I think some of the figures that are coming into Silver that are going through rotation probably won't be able to be played. So I don't know what those are. I don't know what's coming off and on, but we all will find out here pretty soon. So that's now when they put things on. And, people say, well, why do they rotate it and say you can't play it? Well, the idea behind that is a lot of those figures have been playing profusely for the last few years in Modern, and and the thinking is that by not allowing them to be played immediately into Silver gives a breath of fresh air, so to speak, into the format where people can do other things, but it's not meant that they stay gone forever. So now some things that just cause problematic builds that are not good, may stay gone forever, but in general, the idea is for the figures to come back at some point. That being said, I think that this year, this rotation is the biggest change of meta that we went through in a long time. There's a lot of things that are going away that are not there yet. I mean, that are not there anymore. And I think when you're seeing stuff like the Surfer and Masters of Evil and all of those things go away, it's a big change. And so Kong is still going to be around. You're still going to see Scott Porter's is gone. That's huge. I don't think if you played in the meta, I don't even care if you got whooped all weekend, you still had Scott Porter's on your team. So, or at least one, probably more likely two. I don't think I played a team that didn't have a Scott Porter. I did play some teams that didn't have both, but I don't think that I played teams that didn't. Hey, Brandon, I don't think I played anybody that didn't have at least a Scott Porter on their team. Nate is sitting here beside me, shaking his head. He didn't go to Worlds, but he watched the stream profusely all week, and I don't think you saw. Do you ever remember not seeing us?
Everything that was on HC units. I don't know if I saw in a single team on there for the top 64 that had at least not a white shirt on it, but most of them I think are blue.
I think that
Except Phoenix Wolverine teams.
Phoenix Wolverine teams. I think Mern he's come on strong here at the end. I think he's gonna be played quite a bit. But there's a lot of other things that are I think you're gonna see. Well, Masters of Time, we haven't had a chance to see it shine yet because it wasn't legal for Worlds. There are definitely some figures in there that are meta. I think, and when you talk meta, you have different. You may have something meta pulp that's not meta in modern. I think Supergirl is definitely meta. Whether she's meta in modern or not, because she takes up a pretty good bit of your build, I don't know. But maybe she's meta at her lower point level in modern, and maybe she's meta at her higher point level and her lower point level in pulp, because she's really good. If you have a figure that can heal figures as they're attacked, and she's got a stop click, and she is very powerful. She can't be outwitted, and she does a lot of damage. I just feel like that's something that we're going to see. I think your Dr. Fates are meta for what they do. You have a prob, you have a TKer, you have mystics, and generally speaking, they have shape change and super senses. And they're not worth a lot of points. What are they, 30 or 40 points?
Dr. Fate.
Yeah, they're not. Maybe 50. Anyway, you're going to see those played. And he's not a terrible. I mean, he's got sidestep also. Sidestep TK is really nice, but he also 50 points. But he also can attack. I mean, he does 3 damage, so it's not like he's that bad at all. I was reading what I was kidding. You had to do so. You need to take a break or slow down. No, I'm not. I don't know who you're talking to there. I think you're talking about Aaron. Aaron just needs to go to Mexico with me. That's how I'm solving my problems. I'm just going to Mexico. Anyway, I know there's going to be a lot of new pieces coming out, but there's just going to be a major change. I mean, Spider-Man was rotating was major. A lot of things being taken out. Everything from your Prime Black Suit Spider-Man to your Arachnite. That was the one I was trying to think of. Arachnite, your Surfers, so much was in that set that's coming that has been pulled out. Avengers 60 had all the Masters of Evil chases. That's a big thing. All of those being taken out. What else rotated? That's big. Anyway, it's just going to be some major changes, and I'm very interested. I guess the first time we will get a glimpse of it will be at States. What is it?
Lantern rings.
Oh yeah, all the rings. That's big because the yellow ring was played a lot. Yeah, it was played a heck of a lot. You know, none of those guys, none of my friends in Mexico drank tequila. They never talk about tequila. All they talk about is mezcal, and that's all. They bring me mezcal. They drink mezcal. That's all they want to drink is mezcal. I've yet to hear any of them talk about tequila. Brandon says uncarded terrain doesn't rotate, only the ones with the cards, right? So anyway, it's going to be. Also, we'll have, I guess, some map changes too here pretty soon. There'll be some maps that we lose and gain. So, like I said, it's going to be a bunch of changes. Very interested to see those things that we talked about, like the rings and Masters of Evil and the Surfers and the Spider-Mans. How much of that is on the don't play list for silver, and how much of it is actually going to be used for silver? That's very interesting because that silver kind of keeps things alive for a little bit. You know, for those of you that don't know, silver will also be being changed. I think we go back to the old Spider-Man set right now. I'm not even sure about that. I think our starting point is Superior Foes of Spider-Man. That will slowly over time move up too as WizKids rotates. Re-rotate, so silver is always going to have a different starting point. It's not meant to be the same place forever. Let's see. What else do I think that's going to be? I don't think Super Sword is going to make meta. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. My buddy Dennis played Super Sore in a team sealed, and he did not have a good time with Super Sore. I don't see. I think you could surprise some people with Super Sore though. I think that most builds won't plan on fighting a Super Sore, so I don't think he can win. But I think that he can destroy some teams rather quickly that aren't prepared. But that's the whole thing. They got to be. He is cool. Super Sword is very cool, but I don't see him being meta played very much. Now, here's a thought for you guys. On the way back, I thought of it, but I don't remember if I thought it on the way back or at Worlds. But I proposed a format to Dennis and Raul in the car, and we talked about it a lot. So this would just be this isn't a format per se that we want to adopt or anything. It's like if you want to run something different, we thought about running some tournaments that are just legacy only, regardless of whether they're Silver Age or Modern, but opening it up to where you can only play legacy figures. And that first you think that, oh my God, this figure, no, man, there's lots of good stuff in that format. I mean, you have your Cosmos, anything with a Cosmo can handle anything that is uber powerful. But you got so much in there that we haven't played that I think would be fun to play in that type of format. You got your Surters, your Carnages, your Cosmos, you got Thanos, you got Ultron, that I've never seen anybody play. But it would be, I think, and then you got World's Finest. Somebody just said WF would be their go-to, and that would be really good. But I think just a tournament, and I may run it one day, or may do it at one of our events as a side tournament, just to run a legacy-only event. I think it would be fun. Just nothing but legacy, everything, and also it would be Highlander. only one of. You can't run multiples of things. Everything would just be, it would be Highlander, only one of everything. You couldn't have two Cosmos, for example, which is pretty ridiculous. It does a lot, but just running a pure legacy, I think there's a lot of figures there that we haven't, that I've never seen played, that I would like to see played, and I think the combinations that people could come up with would be pretty cool. So that's something that's on my mind, and everybody seemed to be very approving of it that I've talked to, and I think it would be a lot of fun. Just have to give everybody enough time to get ready. I think it would be a good, very good side event maybe at the Cup next year. By the way, I'm working on that too. I've got some bids from hotels and stuff. I've got to go by and start talking to them, and I need to look at event centers and decide which way I want to go. But I've got to work a little bit harder on that to get ahead of the game. I don't want that to be last minute, and I need to book now because I don't want to have the risk of losing a place that I would use because somebody else is booked that week or that weekend. Looks like the auction is very close to ending. It's 7:59. Let's see if we have any overtime. We do have a huge bounty pool. If you haven't been bidding on stuff, there is a huge bounty pool. It's so much that I can't. Usually we keep the bounty in this, and it's outgrown that like 3 times. So I got 2 tubs down here. Over here, there they are. This is the bounty. I got 2 tubs full of stuff that's in the bounty. I think that maybe because some of the sets that I think we just got real unlucky at the previous set that we were doing, which I guess was what, next? Was next phase our last? Yeah, I guess it was. We got unlucky there. But on this particular set, you got the super booster. You've only got 8 boosters, and you only got 3 super rares generally in each brick, and I just we've not picked the right one every week. And also there's a lot of super rares. I think that's part of it too. I think there's 12 super rares, so you've got to pick. We have to have a 20%. You have a 20% chance. 50?
15.
Yeah, 15% chance. Well, you got 2 bricks.
15 super rares.
Yeah, 15 super rares. So 3 into 15, that's what, 5? Goes 5 times. So 20% chance each time, and we ain't been hitting. And I would, in Vegas, we would say the house is winning. The house is winning on those odds, but it's eventually going to happen. Somebody's going to hit. The super rares are there. We just haven't picked the right one. All right, looks like everything's ending, and we got a few things in overtime. Also tonight, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have 3 super boosters. I brought a super booster back from Worlds that I haven't opened, and I thought that we would just add it on tonight. I think it's better for me to let it move that way. Senior Green Lantern. Well, in just a second, we'll start taking stuff and figure out what we're going to do. Do you have anything in your booster in Booster 8? Did you win anything good? That one that you had?
The Clock King and Zatanna. That was the best one.
So Nate's here with me. I told you he plays at the store, and he won a booster that was from Worlds, right? Yeah. So he had Booster 8 in it, and had a Clock King in it, Nicole. So, or no, you called Green Lantern. Who said? Oh, George. It had a Clock King in it. Did you buy anything tonight, George? Am I going to have to ship anything to the Philippines? By the way, George, your guy from Manila did contact me. If he's wondering if he's approved, he will be approved. I'm waiting to email everybody back at one time. I've got a little spreadsheet. I keep everybody up, and they get the initial approval, and then I send out emails, and I say, pay me now or else. I'm giving it to somebody else. I don't do that, but I do have a little bit of a time period that I need to get everybody paid. And like I said, I have to get everything. It's really for ordering. Nothing this time? Oh, George. I hope that I know some of you guys were at Worlds. I hope you had the opportunity to meet George. He had just a great time. I think that him bouncing around. I think that he watches and listens to podcasts and he hears about players. So I think there's a little bit of. I think that the fact that he got to bounce around and rub elbows with a lot of those guys that he hadn't met or seen that were top tier players meant a lot to him. I know he was getting a lot of stuff signed all week. You hope the Super Bowl, whatever those dudes are wishing for. Okay, is everything in it or are we still going? Looks like we're still going. Man, what are y'all fighting over? Oh, it's the super boosters. Ah, there it goes. It's over, so we can start. Yeah, everybody was fighting over the super boosters. That's why he made that comment. He goes, that's whatever those dudes want. The super booster is pretty much money because, you know, if you bid $50 on it, more than likely, just the giant figure is worth that much. And if you're lucky, there's a chase and some other good stuff. All right, so let's get this underway. Excuse me. Let's start off by picking what super rare is going to be the bounty, and the first two nominations I get, that will be the bounty. So go. Name them. Nicole, where's your Green Lantern? Name it. You guys don't all start typing at once or anything. All right, somebody's nominating something over there. No, can't use a prime. Primes aren't legal. It has to be just a solid super rare. If you want to change that to just Swamp Thing, that's fine. Oh, I got two Shadows over there. I think we got it. Shadow it is. I got two nominations for Shadow. So what that means is if you want a booster and I pull Shadow out, then you win the entire bounty prizes. So I'm going to start off, and before I start cracking and pull these out, we're going to add some stuff to it. I always start with throwing the legacy card in. So let's get in here really quick since I find my knife. There it is. Did you buy anything, Nate?
No, I didn't do anything.
You want to come help me crack these?
Sure.
Pull up that chair over there, throw the stuff in the floor. And I'm going to do this. Just I slide this way and just slide the chair in. All right, so again, this is the bounty, but this is only, we're starting a new bowl, so don't be concerned that there's not that much in there. There's a ton of stuff. So we throw the legacy card in. Here you go, get that up. There. Now let me add some stuff in, and I'm going to add a Remaker ring. I'm going to add a Wonder Woman legacy card. Let's add a Gordon out of Earth X. Super rare. Let's go up here. We'll add a Ray. DC Ray, and it's out of Teen Titans. And let's see, I'll add a Sunspot team-up card. And one more thing, I'll do a Mystery of the Strange Cube mystery card. Okay, we'll add that on in. I'll add all that in. Now that one I know is 9. I mean, that's the only one we know for sure. Everybody, this is Nate. Nate is just out in the military. We don't have a black marker. Oh, there it is. He's just, here, I'll let you do it. Just right on the chalkboard. Let me mix these up and just randomly put numbers on there, 1 through 8. He's just out in the military. He's trying to become a firefighter. He was playing HeroClix before he went in the military and liked it. And he's come back now, and he's all enthusiastic, and he's come in every week, and he loves the game. All right, and again, his brother originally was the person I know that played the game, and Nate didn't really play a whole lot, at least not with us at the store, but now he's back into it. All right, so I'll do the odd numbers and you do the even numbers. All right, so we're looking for a Shadow. Oh, it's Shadow or Shadow to you?
It's Shader. It's whatever.
Bring that box over. I always put them right back in the way they came out. That was, also, just make sure you're on camera. Hold on a second, guys. We're going to look at our. Yeah, you're good. All right. So let's see.
Good.
Yeah, this is real good. Who has booster number 1? We'll start right there. Somebody's going to be immediately happy. Booster number 1, guys. Who has booster number 1? Speak up. Booster 1. Booster number 1. I can look it up. You guys are making me work. All right, booster number 1. 9. I wish they put. Oh, there we go.
2 point.
2 points. All right, guys. 2 points has got booster number 1, and we have a Mr. Mind common. We have a Zatanna uncommon. We've talked about her a lot. We have Trick Arrows. We have Black Hawk Pilot common, and we have the first chase of the night. We have a King Jefferson. Congrats. I actually saw him being used in some games. He's a little bit better than I thought that he was. He does some pretty nasty things. He can shut stuff down. But Nick, go ahead and open up yours.
Who's got booster 2?
What I do is I just put this on the box and pull the cards out.
It's pretty decent rare.
Yeah.
So probably pretty good booster for Pulp.
Oh, well, for a seal. Battle Royal would be
Battle
good.
Royals.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So first you've got a Time Trapper common, League Assassin common, Easy Company Soldier common, a Hal Jordan uncommon, and a Robin rare.
That's another figure I think that we'll see a little bit in, especially Pulp. He's pretty good. He dies a little easier than I think than I want to, but in Pulp I think he would work just fine. He can do a lot of damage. You don't have to do that. Just stick him back in there. All right, let's go to booster number 3. Again, we're looking for Shadow. We've already pulled 1 chase tonight. Shadow will win the bounty. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, not bad. Got a guy that I sell, at least got a guy that I sell a lot of. What do you think about that guy?
Daxman, I think they're pretty decent
Yeah.
for Pulp.
So we got Trick Arrow again. We got Supernova uncommon. I like this guy. I think he's, I think that he is maybe a little bit too many points. Daxamite, who is actually very, I think he is maybe getting overlooked. He's got a pretty deep dial. He does some pretty cool things. Velociraptor, common, And then this guy's is definitely going to be seen in pulp and maybe in the meta period. He's got 2 different points levels, and that's Green Arrow. And he does some tricky arrow things.
I think you're on the right map with him. He's a very good character.
That's a figure I definitely would think would be better off if you made a theme team, so you could win map choice and you can choose the map that you
He's got good themes too. Marksman, Justice League, in his past. Whoever got this booster, is gonna be really happy.
Oh my. Oh my.
Who had booster 4?
Speak up, number 4. Somebody's gonna be happy, they just had a really good night. Number 4, who's got 4?
All right, so starting off with a common prehistoric warrior, you've got a common detective chimp, an uncommon Sergeant Rock,
D Block has got 4.
uncommon Cinnamon, and then first super rare of the night, and Prime of the Brick.
Yeah.
You got the Prime Swamp Thing,
Yeah,
which for me, I think probably one of the best things in the set.
it is. It's the second most valuable thing
Yeah.
in the set.
Um,
The most valuable is the Ultra Chase,
Yeah.
and then these next. Some people would choose him over the Ultra Chase.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky to pull him out of a brick that I got.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
So D Block, congrats. D Block's a regular here, so he's going to be pretty happy with that. So Prime Swamp Thing. I think he maybe walked off and doesn't know he won it. So since he doesn't know, if there he goes. What are you, Dark Side? Are you that far behind? Oh, we are
he's
that
waiting.
far behind. Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, he was answering us the whole time. For whatever reason, my on Auxxit, it did not move down, so I didn't see some of the comments. Sorry about that. All right, so now, what number are we on? Number 5. My God, this is a hot brick.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to pull this brick.
Yeah, this is a good brick.
All right, so we got a Dead Man common, we got a Jenny Hex common, a Daxamite common, a Wonder Woman uncommon, who's also a pretty good figure, and we have a super rare John Constantine. No props for anybody.
Almost
John.
a bounty figure.
Do what?
So it was almost a bounty figure.
Yeah, almost.
It's all right. This would be a
That's still a good brick. I mean a good booster. I mean,
Yeah.
play-wise, that's fantastic.
yeah.
I would take that right there and play with it.
Pulp wise, you got a lot of good pulp stuff in there. I think.
Yeah, you do.
We'll be getting pulp. All right, so starting off with a common Superman. You've got a common Jenny Hex. You've got 001 shifting focus Batman. And then uncommon Red Arrow. And your rare is Green Arrow.
Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, that's a lot of, I would like to pull that booster and not pass it, I think, in a battle royal. I'd be very happy.
There's a good selection from that one.
All right, number 7, which again ain't bad. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's still not bad.
She did pretty good in the game I used her in.
All right, so we got an Easy Company Soldier, common. We got a Morgan Le Fay, rare. A Detective Chimp, common. A Lady in Black Hawk, uncommon. And a Talia Al Ghul, uncommon. This is our last record booster. We're still looking for Shado. I think we're gonna get her. I think we gotta get her. Okay.
That's not bad.
No.
But, that's also a pretty good pack.
Yeah, it is.
Getting 2 of that Batman one pack should be good. So starting off with an uncommon Batman, the 018 Batman, the wings. Common Animal Man, common Booster Gold. You actually got 2 Booster Gold cards only one booster gold figure, but 2 booster gold cards. A common dead man, and then your rare is 033 Batman.
That's the witch Batman, witch hunter Batman.
I think he's pretty good too.
Yeah, well, I think shifting focus. I'm gonna build. I've said this. I'm gonna build a shifting focus team and play it just to see how it plays.
For sure. I already have all of those Batman. I think they'll do really well.
All right, we do the super booster now. Figures on each side.
Back there.
Okay. So, got somebody not wanting to come out. Hell, that's the cards. So I'm not gonna hide this. You can see you got a Wonder Dawn. I think the Wonder Dawn's not that bad. He's not bringing the money, and I know one-on-one against another Dino, maybe he's not as good, but on a team build, I think he's better. So you got the team, you got the Team Up Green Arrow card, you got the Wonder Dawn Colossal, then you got a Lady Blackhawk uncommon, and then you got a League Assassin common. So that's number 9, and now we're going to another brick, but before we do that, we get to add more prizing in, because nobody pulled Shadow, whatever she is, which also is a pretty good figure in my opinion. All right, so let's add some stuff in. We're going to start off with a Wraith, super rare, out of Superman Wonder Woman, another legacy card that we just pulled off. Let's go to a Corvus Glaive staff. We'll throw that in. Here's a Ajax super rare. We'll throw that in. Let's do another object here. We got a Lasso of Truth. We'll throw that in from Wonder Woman 80. And let's get some cards. I already had these ones. I don't know how that happened. All right, we got another Wonder Woman. This one is the one on the horse, legacy card. It's a little damaged, so I'm gonna pick you another one. Another Wonder Woman with that, I don't know what set that's out of. I think that's Cosmic Justice. And I'll throw something in a little unique. Still sealed. This is a Bellaway that we used to get. It's out of Mutations and Monsters. Buy it by the brick figure, and that's a Dark Beast, still sealed in its pack. There you go. Did you mix these up?
I did, if you want
Okay,
to.
that's a good number.
Alright, so
It'll be 10. And you can do the next one. You get the evens this time. We are looking for Shadow. I thought that was her when you first pulled it up. Saw the black. Thought that was her.
I think that this rare in this pack isn't bad. I like him at least. Starting off with a uncommon number 17 Batman, a common Mr. Mind, common Velociraptor, common Blackhawk pilot, and then a rare GI robot.
Okay. I'm jumping over to number 11. As said, we're looking for a Shadow, a Chase. The last brick was good, so if we do that good on this one, looks like this one is not giving as early as the other one. We were hot right in the beginning, so we haven't put anything extra special yet in this brick on the first 2. So we have a Booster Gold common, Detective Chimp common, a Anthro uncommon. He's actually pretty fun. He's more fun to play than I thought he would be. He actually does pretty good damage. Superman common, and a Batman which I think his Batman's pretty good too. He's a rare. That's a figure that I think that we're going to see very much played with him. I just said it's a Batman super rare. I think he's going to be played in meta.
Here's the first super rare of the brick.
We should have listened to the smiling girl that makes me happy. We should have listened to her. Should have listened to her. She is right almost all the time, guys. We should all let her pick the figure next week.
So starting off with a common Animal Man, common Dead Man, common Prehistoric Warrior, an uncommon Talia al Ghul, and then the super rare Green Lantern.
Which Nicole said that was the one, and nobody listened to her.
She typed just a little bit slow when she was putting it in that second time.
Well, there's two people, and then nobody else jumped out there. But she said to begin with, and she just off. We have not been pulling the bounty figure, but she has predicted the bounty figure multiple times.
She predicted a figure right before a pack last week too. I
She
think.
did.
I don't know what it was though.
I remember her doing that. All right, so now we're going to number 13. Okay. Pretty good pack too. This is a guy that people are talking about also about being played with what he does in the meta. And I think that he's not one of my favorites, but I think somebody's going to make a good team with him. So we got Zatanna uncommon, we got a League Assassin common, we got a Time Trapper common, a Booster Gold common, and the figure I was talking about is a super rare Rip Hunter.
He seemed pretty good when Jonathan was playing him.
Yeah, I think he can be aggravating. Play against. Nicole, you're always right. Never give anybody credit. It's you. You're always right.
All right, so this pack's starting off with a Trick Arrow. These are really bad. Going into a uncommon Superboy, a common Blackhawk Pilot, common 001 Batman, and then your rare is a Black Beetle.
That Black Beetle ain't bad. That Black Beetle is decent. I'm not too fond of that Superboy though. That Superboy doesn't do a whole lot for me.
No, I like the Dex one a lot more than him.
Yeah, I do too. All right, so now we're going into number 15. We have some super rares, dude. Let's hope one of them is a Shadow. I'd really like to mail the bounty figures off because they're really taking up too much space. I'd like to start brand new. Okay, there's some figures that we've been talking about. Yep, that's another one I think that I think is going to see some play.
Yeah, I think he's really good for 20.
Lady Blackhawk, uncommon. Daxamite, common. Dr. Fate, uncommon. Genie Hex, common. And a Per Decaton, rare, which is another figure I think that we're going to see somebody have a little bit of creativity with.
I think for 20 points, he's got a lot going on. TK, leadership, but he gets to reposition the other team at the beginning of the game, which could really throw somebody off. He's got some
Especially
good,
if you're trying to alpha strike.
good keywords. That's another good rare.
We got one more shell. I mean, it could be in there too. You never know. We got two super boosts.
This pack starting off with an Easy Company Soldier and Sergeant Rock. It's a good team up for a pack. Common Jenny Hex, common Deadman, and then your rare is the Flash.
Flash ain't bad.
I like this rare. I think he could do pretty good in pulp.
All right, we're moving on to 17. After this, we have two super boosters. Let's see, what do we have here? We should have something, shouldn't we? Oh yeah, who has 17? Okay, 17 is a winner. So I think that's the first time that's happened. I think the first booster and the last booster,
Yeah.
I'm not counting the super boosters, that they were both the big things. So I don't know who has it, but we have a Supernova uncommon, we have a Daxamite common, we have a Prehistoric Warrior common, and we have a Batman uncommon, and then we have the Chase, it's Diana.
It's Optimus Prime. Looks like that he's got
Okay.
that one. So that's a good booster there. Chase Diana, I think she's
Yep.
pretty good.
All right, so this is the last super booster out of the set, and then I've got the other super booster that I put somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
It's right behind your chair.
Okay. So Nate's gonna open up this one. I'll get the other one.
This one's one of the cooler skulls.
Okay. This is a good,
Good ball, too.
yeah, this is a good super booster.
Yeah, so this super booster is pretty good. You got a super rare in here as well. So we'll start off with the team up card. You got the booster gold team up card, Blackhawk Pilot common. You got a Caveman Wally West super rare. I think he's really good.
He is.
Then you got Aquanix as your dinosaur.
How many points can he be played at? What's the,
Aquanix,
Yeah.
he's a 300, 200, 100, or 50.
I think it would be fun to play him and Poseidon together.
Yeah, I think they both generate water, correct? I think he does too.
Yeah, I think
One of
this
his
would
abilities.
just cover the whole map with,
Yeah,
and they wouldn't be able to be attacked with range, and I think it'd be.
yeah.
So I'm not real hip on some of the Colossals solely, by themselves, but I think that a lot of them can be worked into teams. All right, so this is the last one for the night, especially at their lower point values. All right, this one, I actually got this one from Adam Friedman. I tend to buy a lot of stuff for people, and I bought all Adam's stuff, so he had a super booster. So let's see what kind of super booster he had. Oh, I like this guy. I will tell you that I think that this is maybe the best figure. Wait a minute, it's the one I think, yeah. I'm gonna put it right there. I think that this might be the best Colossal, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why when I pull it out. So you got a Wonder Woman team up, and then you got the Beast Boy Colossal. Now the reason I say this is you get this whole dial for 120 points compared to,
You gotta do a lot of damage to him.
and then he does a lot of stuff. He's got Charge and Flurry,
Yeah.
and he's got Blaze Claw's Fangs with the Charge and Flurry, and he does 4 damage, so if you roll for Blades, you're still doing 3 no matter what. He's got Shape Change, he's got Invincible.
His blades is like super blades too. When he
Yeah.
targets 2 characters, he gets to roll blades for both.
Yep. So yeah, he's got double target. I really think that this may be the best Colossal. Not mono and mono again, but for building on your team. Because you can with 120 points, you can put a lot of stuff with him.
Yep.
You also can run him at a lower point value, I think. No, he's just 120. I just think he can fit. He also has a stop click. Then he has that, which is a big power, Outsiders. So if he's attacking something, he can outsider them to take away all the perplexing. If they got combat reflexes, no, you don't. I just outsidered you. And then he also,
Yeah, team player is good.
so he's a wild card. So this figure, for that length of a dial, and for all the stuff that he does, and there's so many things. I think about him carrying Cosmo around, for example. So Cosmo you can't use power, so he does a Charge and Flurry, and
Yeah.
and they're also animals, so you got an animal team. This guy's good. Maybe, how would you like to play a Beast Boy, a 50-point Kong, and a Cosmo, and some other stuff? That would
Yeah.
be pretty nasty. We haven't even talked about the other stuff. You got a Black Hawk Pilot common, you got a Robin rare, and I did say that the Wonder Woman team up card. again, it may not be the most desirable piece that everybody's wanting, but this may be the best colossal out of the bunch. Instead of saying,
He said as long as it's not super.
you know what? You know, buddy, I'm gonna surprise you with a t-shirt when I come down to Mexico. It's gonna be a blue t-shirt with the Superman symbol on it, and it's gonna say Super Sword on it. That's what I'm bringing you. I'm gonna have a custom shirt made just for you that says Super Sword. I don't know. What was the Cosmo? I don't know if Cosmo turned silver, did he?
I don't know.
What was the card out of? I guess is the question. That would be the termination. Where did we get the card for Cosmo out of? Anybody know? We'll figure this out and we're gonna call it a night. You're welcome.
I think it was Avengers Forever.
Yeah, if it's out of Avengers Forever, yeah, he would be rotating too. Which I hate because I use Cosmo a lot, but that would have been a really good combo. I think it would have been a lot of fun. All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night. We enjoyed it. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Dennis, I'll talk to you over the weekend. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next week. And hopefully Jonathan will be back with us next week. I think that he will, and you guys have a good night.